$157,000. That is exactly how much Amazon just dropped in my account after my covered calls got assigned. But here's the crazy part. Instead of missing out on future potential profits to continue owning Amazon shares, I turned right around and used that same cash that got deposited into my account to continue making money on Amazon, even though I don't currently own the shares. And this, my friend, is called the wheel strategy. And in today's video, I'm gonna show you exactly how I use this strategy on Amazon stock to consistently stack cash and continue to grow my portfolio without owning the shares. Most investors either buy shares and just sit on them, or they mess around with options and they buy a couple options and they use it like if it's a casino, hoping to make a ton of money one day. And the wheel strategy is completely different. This is literally like owning a money printing machine that's gonna make you money. It doesn't matter if the stock goes up, if the stock goes down, or it trades sideways. You're gonna make money doing the wheel strategy. The only caveat in this is the most important thing here, remember this, write this down if you're new to this, you have to do this with a specific set of stocks. Oh, that sounds a little bit like that movie. I have a specific set of skills. But anyway, you have to do this with a specific set of stocks. You cannot do this with some meme stock, right? You have to do this with well-established companies, guys. Companies that you don't mind holding for the long term. If the play goes south for whatever reason, you wouldn't mind holding this for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 10 years. Do it with those types of stocks that you believe in for the long term. If you do that, you got half the battle in your pocket. All right, so here is what just happened to me. I used to own 700 shares of Amazon. I sold a bunch of covered calls at the $225 strike price, well above my break-even price. I collected a bunch of premium along the way, and then out of nowhere, boom, the stock went above my strike price by the expiration date, and all of a sudden, my shares got called away. That assignment put over $157,000 in cash in my account. I had that money in my buying power, ready to go. And instead of sitting there wondering what I'm gonna do next, I immediately jumped into the second phase of the wheel strategy. I sold a bunch of put options to get back into the position. Check this out. My 700 shares of Amazon sold at the strike price of $225 each. Even though the market price for the stock was currently sitting at $228.84 at the time of assignment. And that's the trade-off when you do this type of strategy. You're sometimes gonna miss the top of the stock, right? But then again, you just wanna be in a range because realistically speaking, nobody knows the exact dollar bottom or the exact dollar top of a stock. You just want to be in that range. You want to be able to buy and sell within that range when you're trading options. So technically, yes, I did cap my upside by a couple of bucks, but I still walked away with some fat profits, plus all of the option premium that I collected to get into the shares and to sell the shares. Not only did I get paid to buy the 700 shares of Amazon and get assigned on the previous put options, but I also got paid to sell the 700 shares on this recent call that got called away. Technically, the first step of the wheel strategy is owning the shares. You want to own at least 100 shares of the stock. That way you're able to sell a covered call. You have to own 100 shares to sell a covered call. Once you sell that covered call, you're going to instantly collect a premium, the option premium for selling that covered call. And eventually, down the line, you're going to end up getting assigned. That's just how it goes. If you do this long enough, you're going to end up picking a strike price where the stock climbs up and you do get assigned, which means when you sell a covered call and you get assigned, your shares will be sold to that person for the strike price that you choose. And when they do get called away, you're going to end up sitting on a pile of cash because they're going to have to pay you for those 100 shares at the strike price of your choosing. So in this instance, if I only had 100 shares, I would have $225 per share, which would be $22,500. I would have been left with a pile of cash of $22,500 to do whatever I want with. But of course, if you're gonna do the wheel strategy and you wanna take full advantage of it, what you do is you use that money to sell put options and get back into the position, collecting more premium, and hopefully getting back in at the same strike price that you sold. So essentially, it's like if you never sold to begin with. So here's my portfolio right after the assignment. I'm currently sitting at about $336,000 in total value with $45,000 in buying power freed up. And look at the performance. I'm up over 13% year to date on this portfolio. That's over $39,000 in growth just this year. The wheel strategy doesn't just make you income. It compounds your entire portfolio over time. Now, here's where the fun begins. With my shares being gone, I'm not just gonna sit there and wait for the next dip to get back into the stock at the price that I sold it, right? I'm gonna sell cash secured put options at the price that I sold the stocks at. So right now, I'm working with 600 to 700 shares of Amazon at the $225 strike price. I'm going to sell 6 or 7 put options at that strike price to collect more premium and hopefully get assigned. And if I don't get assigned, guess what? I collected a bunch more premium, which is going to add to the income that I've made with that stock. All right, so as you can see here, I sold 3 put options at the strike price of $225, and that gave me a credit of $4.37 per share. That is $1,311 of cash upfront that I collected instantly. And that premium that I collected instantly lowered my break-even price to $220.65. If Amazon stays above $225 per share, this contract is going to expire worthless, and I get to keep all of the premium. But if it dips and I do get assigned, I get to buy the 300 shares at a discount, and I still keep the premium. Either way, it's a win-win situation for me. And I didn't stop there. I also sold another 3 contracts at the strike price of $220 per share. And that right there brought in another $870 into my account as soon as those trades went through. My break even here, just $217.10 per share. So now I've got 2 layers of income coming in. And I got a great chance to buy Amazon at a price that I love. And while I'm waiting for all of this to happen, I'm literally getting paid for being patient. My patience is literally paying me. That's why I love this strategy, guys. That is the beauty of this strategy right here. And I'm going to be real with you. Let's be real. The wheel strategy does not work on every stock. It simply doesn't. I get that. You want to do this with strong companies that have good liquidity and long-term growth. And that's why I love doing this with Amazon. It moves enough to make the options premium pretty juicy, but it's also stable enough that I don't mind owning it long-term if I do get assigned the shares. So whether my put options expire worthless and I just keep stacking cash, or if I do get assigned the shares and I start the cycle all over and start selling covered calls, it is a win-win situation for me. All right, so here's the recap. 700 shares got called away. I pocketed $157,000 and I'm already back in the game selling put options. I'm collecting thousands of dollars in premium while setting myself up to re-own Amazon shares at a discount. And that right there, my friend, is how you can run the wheel strategy to make yourself consistent income every single month, no matter what happens in the market. If you want your portfolio to generate income instead of just sitting there through the ups and downs of the market, this is one of the most powerful strategies that you can use. Smash that like button if you found this video helpful, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel for future videos just like this. And if you're running the wheel strategy, go ahead and drop me a comment down below and let me know which stocks you're doing the wheel strategy with. I'd love to see what you guys are getting into. And with that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.